How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store has kicked off its DEALMANIA sale. I swear I forgot the name of the sale for a second. That's what happens when you got all these wild names. But we've got a lot of historic low prices that I do want to go over. With the historic low deals, look, I cover the historic lows. That doesn't automatically mean that all of these deals, I would say, are objectively good. They're just at the lowest price that they've ever been on the PlayStation Store. We'll go over it game by game. And I'm not going to mention everything that is at a historic low. I mean, Mind's Eye Deluxe Edition is at a historic low there, buddy. So if you want Mind's Eye, now might be the time to pick up Mind's Eye, you know what I'm saying? But let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with Hades, which is 65% off for $874. Really one of the best received games of the last decade. Hades is absolutely beloved, and for good reason. While I never got into the game as much as a lot of other people, I never spent north of 100 to 150 hours in this game. I know a lot of people that have, and even outside of the gameplay loop, I think this game from a stylistic standpoint is fantastic. Great art style, great sound direction, and it's still got a lot of that charm that I knew Supergiant Games had for a long time, you know, because I'm one of these old heads that was playing Bastion back in the day as well. Supergiant has always been one of the more talented studios in all of gaming, but Hades certainly elevated them to another level that I honestly never thought that they were going to get to as far as notoriety, but kudos to them, and Hades is a great title. A very addicting game. Certainly quite a challenging game as well, but $874 on that. Hopefully we'll get Hades 2 sooner rather than later on PlayStation as well. Next up, we do have Doom Eternal, 80% off for $799. This is a brand new low price for this. Doom Eternal is a great game. For a lot of people, it is their favorite Doom title of the newer 3 Doom games. I thought it was a really good time, but again, I really enjoyed all of the Doom games. I like Doom 2016, Eternal, and Dark Ages, but I never really sit down to think about the Doom games in depth as these groundbreaking titles. Rather, for me, they're a lot of fun. They're some of the most fun games that you can play, but it's not games that I think too much about while playing, and I break down every meticulous aspect of the game. I just assess them as fairly fun games, blood and guts galore, good soundtracks, good visuals, and over-the-top action gameplay, and you get that with Doom Eternal for sure, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. You know, you can't play 30 narrative-heavy RPGs in a row. Sometimes that gets a little bit that becomes a little bit boring, and you want something like Doom Eternal to break up the monotony a little bit. $799 on it, I think, is a great deal, so check that out. Next up, we have Cat Quest 3, 50% off for $999. Cat Quest has become one of those low-key banger franchises that I'm really happy is starting to get more and more attention, because it's one of the most charming RPG series that you can find in terms of just a cute game that's accessible, and sometimes you just want a feel-good kind of game. Again, much like in a totally different way than Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal offers you that fast-paced, just crazy action. In the case of Cat Quest, you know, after playing so many RPGs that are emotionally moving or narratively incredibly serious, sometimes it's good to get into something a little bit more laid back, a little bit more relaxing. Still has a lot of charm, a great art style, and is a lot of fun. For $9.99, I think it's a great pickup, and I would certainly recommend that. Next up, we have Marvel Cosmic Invasion, 20% off for $23.99. The game just came out, so it's still holding up in price, obviously. Tribute Games and .emu are teaming up in collaboration with Marvel Games to craft an original, fresh beat-em-up. The cosmos must fall so that I might live. So swears Annihilus, the living death that walks. 15 playable superheroes, including Spider-Man, Wolverine, She-Hulk, Captain America, Phoenix, Black Panther, Storm, and Iron Man. Some of the most powerful Earthborn Marvel superheroes are ready to face the threat. On top of that, you've got galactic superheroes in Rocket Raccoon, Beta Ray Bill, Venom, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Nova, and more. A lot of heroes to play as, and if you want a throwback action beat 'em up, this is definitely going to be something worth checking out. .emu has just been doing a great job in, I feel like, satisfying the Super Nintendo era kids. Like, if you grew up in the Super Nintendo era and that was your favorite platform, or the platform you grew up with and that got you into gaming, man, .emu's at this point got to be your favorite publisher in the game right now. But nonetheless, $23.99 on that. Next up, we have Cult of the Lamb Heretic Edition. This is 66% off for $11.89. You get Cult of the Lamb, the Cultist Pack, and the Heretic Pack, all of that for $11.89. Cult of the Lamb is incredibly well received. The base game was available on PlayStation Plus Extra for a while, but now it is no longer. Cult of the Lamb casts players in the role of a possessed lamb saved from annihilation by an ominous stranger and must repay their debt by building a loyal following in his name. Start your own cult in a land of false prophets, venturing out into diverse and mysterious regions to build a loyal community of woodland worshippers and spread your word to become the one true cult. Build your flock, destroy the non-believers, spread your word. Cultist pack and Heretic pack is all included in here as well. $11.89 on that, Cult of the Lamb Heretic Edition. Next up, we have Ninja Gaiden 4 Deluxe Edition, 35% off for $58.49. Yesterday, I was questioning the DLC when we covered Ninja Gaiden 4 on when that was coming out, and obviously, that was before I recorded the video that I didn't know. Then later that day, they, of course, announced that the DLC would be out on March the 4th, I believe it is. If you want to view the DLC as cut content from the base game, you know, you're free to do that. I won't get into that debate right now. What I will say is, I absolutely loved Ninja Gaiden 4. It was one of my favorite games of 2025. Yes, I know, the narrative isn't blow away. I am not playing a Ninja Gaiden game for the narrative, and I think the narrative is fine, like, whatever. I don't care about no Dark Dragon. What I care about is the brutal action gameplay, and man, this game was awesome. This game was just so much fun. It's gonna be one of those games that, yes, it's a 15 or so hour game to go through. Maybe you can beat it a little bit quicker, but let's say 15 or so hours. I'm gonna go back and play through this game multiple times. You know, I bounce around a lot from game to game, and I try to play all the new releases, so it was difficult for me to beat this game and then right away do a Master Ninja difficulty playthrough, but I do want to do that at some point. When it's a little bit quieter and I don't have as much on my plate, I certainly want to go back to this game and play it on Master Ninja difficulty because I loved this game. Phenomenal soundtrack as well. The soundtrack is totally reminiscent of like a Platinum Games title, specifically Metal Gear Rising. It totally gives Metal Gear Rising vibes with its soundtrack, and the gameplay is just phenomenal, and it's not too difficult on the normal difficulty. If people are worried about the difficulty, don't be worried at all. Look, I breezed through this game on the normal difficulty. Some of you guys may want to play it on hard right out the gate. Unfortunately, you don't get Master Ninja until you beat the games. But $58.49 obviously is a super expensive price point, but the future gameplay DLC is going to be on the pricier side. I believe it's going to be 20 bucks. So, you know, that's essentially the base game being $38.49. You get the bonus items as well. You know, make of it what you will. $58.49 on that. Next up, we have World War Z Aftermath, 67% off for $13.19. If you want an over-the-top action co-op game, you will find that with World War Z. Aftermath is the ultimate co-op zombie shooter based on Paramount Pictures' blockbuster film and the next evolution of the original hit World War Z that has now captivated over 20 million players. Turn the tide of the zombie apocalypse across consoles and PC with full crossplay. Join up to 3 friends or play with your own AI teammates as well. However, you really should play a game like this cooperatively. But yeah, price point on this is quite good, $13.19, available on PlayStation Plus Extra as well. Next up, we do have Atomic Heart Gold Edition. It's 70% off for $29.99. Look, I'll keep it 100 with you guys. I absolutely hated this game. I thought the dialogue and the voice acting in this game was so atrocious that it literally was so off-putting on the game entirely. Gameplay is fine. It's totally serviceable. I think $30 is egregious, but it's the lowest price the game has been at, and the Atomic Pass is included here, so if you want to check it out, 30 bucks for that. I can't really do a good job selling you on it because I hated the game. Next up, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, 30% off for $35. I will also say, while this is a historic low, I do think this is a ripoff. I am not a fan of what Sega is doing with re-releasing their games, but also delisting the original titles and then artificially juicing up the value that these games bring to the table. You know, it's just a whack business strategy from them, and they just did it with Yakuza Kiwami 3 as well, and they delisted the original Yakuza 3. But, yeah, Yakuza 0 is an all-time great game. I truly do believe that. I think the game is absolutely tremendous. $35 is egregious, though, given when the game came out. Given that the game at one point was going on sale for $4.99, then they juiced up the price to $11 because they realized Yakuza was getting bigger, and now to play Yakuza 0, you gotta pay $35? Yeah. We're good on that one, buddy. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide, $28 on this. Look, I've enjoyed the SpongeBob games since they've come back to the forefront with Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Cosmic Shake. I gotta go and check out Titans of the Tide more. This is one that really came out during a busy period. It was mid-November, I believe it was. But yeah, 30% off. If you're a SpongeBob guy, you'll probably have a good time with it. It's been received fairly well. and certainly one that I do want to go and check out. Next up, Dying Light Collection, 70% off for $25.64. This gets you Dying Light and Dying Light 2, the Digital Extras Edition. Dying Light 1 is a really great game, and most people prefer it over Dying Light 2. I still thought Dying Light 2 was a pretty darn good game. I thought Dying Light 2 was a really, really solid game, all things considered. Given that, you know, the open world and the parkour I still thought was fairly well done. Yeah, narratively, it wasn't blow away, but I still thought it was an enjoyable game, and I enjoyed my time with it. Now, I will say, the 10th Anniversary Edition, how they market it is kind of not great. So, they note that you get Dying Light and Dying Light 2. In the banner image, it says 10th Anniversary. That would make you think you get the Dying Light 10th Anniversary Edition. However, listed is the Dying Light Essentials Edition, which doesn't include the following DLC. And in fact, the Dying Light Essentials Edition goes on sale for $3. So if that is the case and it's not something that's a listing error or something like that, that is a little bit of a bummer. What you don't get is the following edition. You don't get the definitive edition of Dying Light. Rather, you get the Essentials Edition, which, I don't know, that's a bit of a bummer, I think. But, you know, if you want to get both titles, $25.64, that is a historic low on that. Next up, we have Bionic Bay Deluxe Edition, $12.49 on this, 50% off. You have the classic monster pack with that. Game has been received pretty darn well. The swap mechanic and realistic physics system central to Bionic Bay is an innovative swap mechanic and a realistic physics system. When combined, these offer a new way of interacting with the environment, from shifting gravity to interchanging positions with objects and adversaries in an ancient biomechanical world and an online mode, competitive speedrunning, leaderboards, and character customization. All that available for $12.49, given that this is a fairly recent release, came out 10 months ago. You know, 50% off is a nice discount. Lastly, we do have UFC 5 Deluxe Edition, 85% off for $11.99. There are rumblings that UFC 6 is going to be revealed soon, but guess what? UFC 6 is going to come out at like $70 probably. $80 would be a stretch, but let's be real, there's going to be like $100 deluxe editions and all this nonsense. So if you want to pick up UFC 5, it's $11.99. I wouldn't be expecting something blow away. The UFC games are fine for what they are if you're a fan. Shout out to us not having to pay $80 for these pay-per-views anymore. Am I right about that one? I mean, the pay-per-view cards could use some work, but, you know, at the very least, we're moving in the right direction with, you know, the pay-per-views now on Paramount Plus and us not getting gouged to the heavens. But nonetheless, $11.99 on that UFC 5 Deluxe Edition. You can go check that out at a historic low. But that is going to do it for me. Again, as far as the historic lows go, not a ton of great stuff, especially like some of the deals I mentioned in yesterday's video are like kind of egregious with this sale. The Ubisoft games are really heavily priced. Somebody mentioned Batman Arkham Saga is $14.99. Like, what's actually going on with this sale, man? This digital gaming stuff, man. Sometimes these price points at Horizon Forbidden West, the complete edition being $40 on the PlayStation Store and $20 from PlayStation's own website physically, is just the most head-scratching decision of them all. But I'm going to make another video on top of all of that because I think it's getting more egregious and it needs to be called out. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.